And tomorrow marks a week since early voting began in Louisiana. And KSLA's Donna Kia spoke to a political science professor on what some of the early data could indicate.
As we race towards the November election, people in all corners of Louisiana are heading to the polls to cast their ballots early. Looking at the data up until October 24th, over 500,000 people have already voted in Louisiana. That's according to the Secretary of State. Statewide, and specifically in Caddo and Bossier parishes, more women have voted than men.
Local women for, probably 20 to 30 years now have outvoted men in that sense, because basically differing educational levels. People who vote or people with higher educational attainment are more likely to vote, and women on the whole, on average, have been having higher educational attainment than men.
Data released by the Louisiana Secretary of State breaks voters down by the political party of the registered voter. But just because you're registered as one party doesn't mean you'll vote that way.
You'll see that phenomenon in Louisiana, like practically every other state. But with the move to close primaries for some offices in a couple of years, that's going to start to change, because some of these people, like, say they want to vote for Senate in 2026. Now, if they've been voting Republican for the last 20 or 30 years, they're not going to have the opportunity in the primary. Yeah.
LSUS political science professor Jeffrey Sato says the races on the Louisiana ballots under president might not be enough for some people to be inclined to vote.
If you had some other down ballot stuff that was a little more exciting, that might pump up turnout. But we're not seeing that. So, that's Louisiana specific, of course. In other states, there's some very high profile down ballot contests, and that's going to stimulate turnout.
You can still early vote in Louisiana until October 29th. In Shreveport, Donna Kia, KSLA News 12.
And early voting is underway in 3 out of 4 states in the Arklatex. In Texas, early voting runs from now until November 1st. In Arkansas, early voting is going on until November 4th. Louisiana's early voting runs until October 29th, except on Sunday. And Oklahoma, early voting begins October 30th and ends November 2nd.